Welcome back to another cozy episode of the Methodcast, where we unravel the myths, illusions, and mental mazes that keep us stuck and gently guide you back to clarity, ease, and true freedom. Today, we're diving into a particularly sneaky trap: the illusion of relief. It's one of those concepts that, once you see it clearly, makes you wonder how you could have ever fallen for it in the first place. Let's start with what this illusion really is. The illusion of relief is that gut level belief that using porn just this once will bring comfort, ease, maybe even joy. That after a long, stressful day, soul and clicking into that familiar world will soothe you, calm you, offer a break from the grind. But here's the truth bomb: it never really does. It doesn't offer peace, it offers distraction. It doesn't relieve pressure, it numbs your response to it. It doesn't solve any problem. It adds a layer of shame and restlessness on top of the problem you already had. The discomfort that porn use actually creates is insidious. It's not always loud. It's often subtle, like a background noise you can't turn off. Users feel mentally foggy, unable to focus deeply. There's often a short fuse with others. A snap here, a sigh there, an irritable glare that wasn't there before. Social situations feel like performances. Real intimacy becomes exhausting or awkward. Sleep is erratic. You wake up feeling heavy, ashamed, and somehow older than yesterday. And here's the cruel trick: each of those discomforts becomes a reason to return. I feel anxious, just a quick peek will calm me down. I can't sleep, maybe this will help. I'm lonely, at least this makes me feel something. But that's the bait. That's the illusion. The so-called relief is nothing more than the anesthetic that causes the very pain it's pretending to soothe. You're chasing the thing that made you run in the first place. We've seen this pattern over and over. Think of Jack, who'd use porn when he felt lonely. Afterward, he felt ashamed and even more disconnected. So he'd isolate more and feel lonelier, then he'd use again. The cycle would tighten like a noose. He called it comfort, but it was a loop of quiet misery. Or Maya, who turned to porn for stress relief after work. But instead of feeling relaxed, she found herself more exhausted, more emotionally flat, less present with her partner. It didn't help her unwind, it stole her capacity to truly rest. The real kicker is this: non-users, the people who've left it behind, report something astonishing. They don't walk around deprived or tense, they walk around free. They don't need porn to relax, to escape, or to feel. They've remembered how to feel everything without fear. They've remembered how to be whole without a crutch. They talk about deeper sleep, more vivid dreams, laughter that comes easier, confidence that doesn't need constant repair, relationships that feel real again, conversations where eye contact is easy and attention doesn't drift, creativity that flows, not trickles, peace that's not dependent on avoiding a trigger or suppressing a craving, actual, tangible joy, and no illusion required. So how does the illusion hold such power over users? Focus. Where your attention goes, your belief grows. A user fixates on the next hit, the next escape, the next supposed moment of relief. That tunnel vision shrinks their world until only porn seems like an option. Their brain becomes wired to equate discomfort with one solution: escape into a fantasy. They become like thirsty people drinking seawater. It looks like help, but it deepens the thirst. On the flip side, the non-user focuses on reality. They see that discomfort isn't something to flee from. It's a message, a guide. Boredom says, create. Loneliness says, connect. Stress says, rest. Instead of running, they respond. Instead of numbing, they heal. This isn't willpower, it's wisdom. They've stopped believing the lie. Here's a fun thought experiment. Imagine someone staring at a mirage in the desert, convinced it's water. They sprint toward it, mouth dry, heart pounding. But it's a trick of light. Would you call them weak for wanting relief? Number. You'd say, but, buddy, it's not real. That's what the easy peasy method does. It points out the mirage, so you stop chasing what doesn't exist. There's a line from the easy peasy method that sums it up beautifully. The only reason it seems hard to quit is because you believe it's hard to quit. That belief is the illusion's fortress. But once you realize there's nothing to give up, only lies to see through, the fortress crumbles. Let's get real about some of those discomforts users often ignore or justify. Emotional numbness. You're there, but not really there. Smiling on the outside, checked out on the inside. Then there's anxiety that hums in the background, making peace feel like a foreign language. Social withdrawal, not because you don't care, but because connection feels draining when you're always acting. Shame like a weight you wear under your clothes. And the worst, that constant sense of being divided, a public self and a private self at war. And yet after quitting, these dissolve, not overnight, but gradually, like fog lifting. The user becomes whole again, not perfect, not euphoric every second, but grounded, present, alive. They no longer feel like they're faking life. They're living it. Let's talk about Matt, who after years of struggling with porn finally saw through the illusion. I thought I'd miss it, he said, but turns out I was missing everything else. His marriage deepened. His concentration at work sharpened. His friendships became more meaningful. It's like I stepped out of a dream and into my own life. This is why the Easy Peasy method is so powerful. It doesn't shame you. It doesn't demand willpower. It doesn't call you broken. It simply says, see clearly and you'll walk free. No tricks, no steps, just truth. You begin to realize that peace isn't found in avoiding pain. It's found in being done with lies. You don't need porn to soothe discomfort because discomfort itself loses its sting when it's no longer tied to escape. You don't need a fantasy when reality becomes vibrant again. So if you're listening today and wondering if this is for you, if there's really hope, if you can ever break free from something that feels so tightly woven into your mind, the answer is yes. Not through struggle, not through shame, but through a shift in understanding, a shift in focus, a shift from illusion to reality. As the Easy Peasy method reminds us, you don't need to be cured. You need to be dehypnotized. You don't need to be stronger. You already are. You just need to stop chasing the fake and start living the real. So here's the invitation. Step off the treadmill. Drop the illusion. See the relief for what it really is, a trick. Then turn your eyes toward peace and watch how life rushes back in. This was the Methodcast. Stay curious, stay kind to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, this is your moment to see clearly and walk free. Until next time.